It was a cool autumn evening when I first set foot in the Gorgas House, a historic building on the University of Alabama's campus. Now it's a museum, but back then it was still a place with a heavy, almost oppressive atmosphere. You could feel the history in the air, like the walls themselves were holding on to something that didn't want to be forgotten. I had heard the stories, of course. Every student on campus knows about the Gorgas House. They say the spirit of the former president's wife haunts it to this day. She died here, in the very rooms we were about to explore. And they say she never truly left. At first, I dismissed it as just another ghost story, until I spent a night in the house that would change my mind forever. I was with a small group of friends, touring the house late after hours. We were poking around, laughing nervously as we moved through the darkened rooms. But then, the atmosphere shifted. It wasn't just the creaking of the old floorboards beneath our feet. It was something more, something sinister. We were standing in the parlor when it happened. A cold breeze brushed against my neck. I spun around, expecting to see an open window. But there was nothing. No draft. No movement at all. That's when I heard it. A soft footstep coming from the hallway. I froze. Everyone else was talking, oblivious, so I motioned them to quiet down. The sound came again, this time closer. Someone walking, but there was no one there. I don't know how to explain it, but the cold grew stronger. So cold it burned against my skin. We all moved towards the hallway, but when we reached it, the footsteps stopped. Not only that, but the temperature seemed to return to normal, like it had never happened at all. But it didn't end there. As we turned to leave the room, a large portrait on the wall shifted, ever so slightly. It was enough to make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. I was the closest to the door, so I reached for the handle, and as I did, I heard a faint whisper. A voice so soft, it was barely audible. Don't go. My heart raced. We didn't speak a word to each other. We didn't have to. We all knew we had just felt something we couldn't explain. We left. But I've never been able to shake the feeling that something followed us out of the house that night.